Welcome to Spartan SportsBeat. I'm Steve Bolson, bringing you the latest in the world of St. Thomas Aquinas College athletics. In this edition, we'll take a look at the Spartan and Lady Spartan cross-country teams. We're joined today by the coach of the St. Thomas Aquinas teams, Nicole Ballou. Nicole, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Nicole, first let's talk a little bit about you and your background. How did you come to this position and end up being at St. Thomas Aquinas as a coach?
Well, I came to St. Thomas originally as the assistant women's basketball coach, but I did have a background in cross country, and the position opened up. As soon as I heard about it, I jumped right on the opportunity.
And how many years have you been doing that? Where do you stand?
I've just completed my 5th year.
So you've had a chance to go through one whole recruitment cycle. Talk a little bit about where the both teams finished this season and how you feel about where the program is right now.
I'm very happy with where the program is right now. Over the 5 years, we started off as a very small squad. Struggled a little bit early on, but we've kind of found our comfort zone in recruiting. We're getting the right kids in. This year, on our men's side, we finished at the NCAA regional in 11th place, which is our best finish ever at the regional level. And our women's team won their 2nd ECC conference crown in 2 years.
As evidenced by our little prop here, the ECC Championship Trophy, and congratulations to you and the team on that accomplishment. Talk a little bit about the individual players. We'll start off with the men's squad, which did so well in the NCAAs.
On our men's side, we've been led by junior Mike Golonsky. He came in as a freshman and was one of our key performers right from the start. He's been an first-team all-conference runner in every season. And this year, he actually set a new 8K school record, running 25:31, which beat out one of his former teammates, Vincent Montefiore.
It's got to be a little satisfaction for him there. And in terms of moving forward in the future, who are the athletes that you're looking forward to stepping up in the next season and the years to come?
Well, next year we actually didn't really lose anyone, so we have the core of our team returning. But I think we're going to be looking to sophomore Joseph Chadwigan and also freshman Joey Capolino, who I think bring a lot to the team. They're very dedicated runners, and I think under Mike's leadership have learned a lot and are ready to carry on the success of the program.
Well, we'll take a look now, turn to the women's side, where obviously they did win the ECC Championship this year. Tell us about what the season was like and what the build-up was like to that ECC meet.
On the women's side, there was a lot of uncertainty when we started the season. We graduated a key group that had given us our first conference championship. We actually only had 2 runners back from that first team. We had 6 newcomers, which again, we thought were very talented runners, but it's always a question mark. You're not really sure at the college level how people are going to perform. Junior Keely Bateman was our top performer. She does a great job for us. Again, all-conference runner in all 3 seasons that she's been here. She was a Rookie of the Year as a freshman. She set our course record for the 5K, running 18:45. She really did a lot for us. I think she set the tone for the younger runners, made them understand what it took to be a championship team. And throughout the season, we saw the potential, and they really just got better week after week and made it happen at the right time.
If you will, cross country is a little bit of an atypical sport for most fans. It's not really a spectator type of sport. Walk us through what that day was like of the championship meet and what memories stick out for you, what it was like and how you found out that the team had won the championship, because it's not like there's a score on a scoreboard as most sports would have.
I think that day was very stressful for everyone. You know, once the race starts, you can only see the runners at certain points at mile markers, and they were really doing a great job. They were running as a pack. They were working off each other, and we were excited as a coaching staff early on. We saw that we had a very good shot. When the race finished up, we were counting places, and we pretty much knew, you know, within a minute after the race that we had won, but you always wonder if you just made a miscalculation or made a quick mistake. But, you know, in the end, we found out as soon as we got inside for the award ceremony, and it was definitely well-deserved. I was very happy for the team.
And was the feeling, was it a surprise? Was it more relief? Had you brought those expectations in with you, or do you think the team performed a little bit above what you might have expected?
I think it's a mix in between. Early on, I really wasn't sure. As the season went on, though, I really felt in my heart that we could do it again, but we had to run very well at the championship. We had been competing very closely with LIU Post throughout the season, and like I said, I think the girls knew exactly what they needed to do, and they stepped up, and they really made it happen.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about the recruiting process and building programs both on the men's and women's side. You mentioned LIU Post, formerly CW Post out on Long Island, and there's a lot of facilities, a lot of plant and infrastructure there, part of the LIU system. What are your pros and cons and the things that you utilize as a coach recruiting for a place like St. Thomas Aquinas? What do you sell to the prospective athletes coming here?
Well, during cross-country season, I think our surrounding area is a huge bonus to us. There are a lot of great trails, great places to run. We're able to keep it a little more interesting than I think some other schools where, you know, we can go up to Tallman State Park, we can head out to Nyack Beach. The landscape is really pretty. It just brings a lot, and it also brings a lot to the runners because they're constantly running in different conditions. We don't really run on a track during cross-country season, although if we need one, you know, we do have one available to us, you know, locally. But we also use the cinder track up at Tallman State Park, which I think gives them a little bit of advantage because they're working harder in their practices, which makes race day a little bit easier.
And what is it about the college as a whole that you use to differentiate between other recruiting competitors?
I think here we're able to give a lot of personal attention. We keep our cross-country squad to a small size, not really going over 15 on either side. With a coaching staff of 3 people, we're able to really focus on what runners are doing and what they need to get better as an individual. So I think personal attention and just a small school feel is what we tend to use as a selling point.
Well, certainly becoming a student athlete at St. Thomas Aquinas makes you part of a family, so to speak. And Nicole Ballou, congratulations to you and your cross-country teams and much continued success in the years to come.
Thank you very much.
Nicole Ballou, the head coach of the St. Thomas Aquinas College men's and women's cross-country teams. We're going to have some student athletes on board. You're watching Spartan Sports Beat. Stay with us. Welcome back to Spartan Sports Beat. Steve Paulson here at Spartan Studios, where today we are focusing on the St. Thomas Aquinas women's and men's cross-country teams. We're joined now by Lady Spartan athlete Keely Bateman. Keely, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Keely, we're going to talk about your athletic career first here at St. Thomas Aquinas. You've done a lot here, as Coach Ballou alluded to earlier. Starting with your freshman year, you were ECC Rookie of the Year. Talk about some of the things you've done and how you felt your career has progressed.
I've been all-conference 3 times, and I was also all-regional last year. It's been really great. I'm going to keep improving, and I'm excited for next year.
As you become part of a program that's being built, this is your 3rd year here at St. Thomas Aquinas, knowing that you were the first athlete to be an all-region runner in the program history, is that something that's a little extra special for you?
Yeah, it definitely is. It pays off to work hard, so it's nice.
You've also had some success individually and as part of a team in the classroom. Tell us a little bit about some of the academic awards both you and the team have qualified for.
Our team has made all academic, which is really great, and I'm also all academic.
Is that the kind of thing that you work together with as teammates outside the classroom? Do you kind of pull each other a little bit, or do you let it go when you're off the field and let each other do your own thing?
No, we definitely all help each other with school, track, whatever we need. We're like a family.
Now this season, the women's cross-country team took home the East Coast Conference Championship plaque. Tell us a little bit about the arc of the season. We heard Coach Ballou talk about it earlier, that maybe it was a little bit of a rough start, but things started to come together. What's your perspective on how the year went?
Well, in the beginning, we had 6 new freshmen, so we all had to get to know each other and the styles of our running, but we all came together in the end, and we did great. We won.
And as a junior, and now an upperclassman, how much of the leadership mantle, if you will, did you feel that you had to share with those younger runners as they got acclimated not just to the program but to the school as well?
I had to be comforting, show them around, show them new runs, and just be there for them, whether they needed it in the track or in school.
Now, knowing that you saw the team come together over the course of the season, what were your impressions on the day of the ECC Championship, and how did you feel? What were the recollections that you have as to how that day unfolded?
It was so exciting. I mean, with 6 new freshmen, we don't really expect to win, the ECC Championship, so it was really exciting.
Does it set the bar higher for you next season now? You're going into your senior year, and you have one of these under your belt. It'd be nice to keep it around if you could. Is that the challenge that you set, or do you have higher goals even?
It would be great to do even better. We're going to build the team even more, hopefully get new freshmen in, and we'll see where that takes us.
Well, we're sure it'll take you to great places. And Keely, congratulations to you and your teammates, and thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks.
Keely Bateman of the Lady Spartans cross country team. We're going to be joined by a member of the men's cross country team, Mike Golonsky, coming up next on Spartan Sports Beat. Stay with us. And welcome back to Spartan Sports Beat. Steve Olson here at Spartan Studios. Today we're focusing on the STAC Spartans cross-country teams, and we're joined by a member of the men's cross-country team, Mike Golonsky. Mike, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
Mike, you're a junior on the men's cross-country team. Let's talk a little bit first about how you ended up coming to St. Thomas Aquinas. What was the recruitment process like, and what made you come to STAC? What went into your decision?
I mean, I was between like 3 other schools, and it was just down to like who wanted me more and whatnot, and how the other schools reacted, how I was performing on the course and whatnot. And STAC was it, just because it was a small school, it was pretty close to home. The team was small, and I was there to help them try to do better as a team. So.
And you've had a good amount of success at that during your 3 seasons here. Tell us a little bit about your honors and accolades. We know you've been all-conference runner during your tenure. What have you done here?
Well, this season I made for all-conference placing. I think I was 5th. And then at the regionals, I placed, well, I didn't really place second. I got second for the conference. And then last year for cross country, I got all academic. So that was awesome when I found out about that. So.
And we spoke with Keely Bateman a little earlier about the academic awards that the women's team had. What is that like for you as well, to know that it is student athlete? It's part of the whole experience for you.
I mean, when you're running, you don't really, I mean, I don't want to say you don't think about that, but you do at the same time. And when you hear about that, it's like, wow, that's awesome. That it's just not about athletics. There is that academic part, and you want to actually do well in the class, because if you don't, I mean, it affects your racing, of course. So, because I mean, a lot of the teammates get stressed about classwork and whatnot, and you just have to talk them out of it. Like, just be like, I understand that you might be having trouble, but we'll get through it, get through this meet, and then the next following meet, we'll sit down, try to figure out what's going on in your classes, and try to get you back on top of everything.
And for a lot of people who aren't familiar with cross country, it's a very cerebral sport, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I mean, it's actually a mental race, because if you're stressed out or something's bothering you that day, you're not going to run well, and it's important to get a good night's sleep 2 days before the meet even. Like, it's not that good to even have a bad night of sleep, because that will just ruin your race. And it's a pretty tough race, because the guys run at 8K and then 10K at regionals. So I mean, it's a long race. It's all mental. If you're off just by a bit, you're not going to run a good race.
And of course, there's strategizing and knowing the course you're running. There's so much that goes into it. Now, you mentioned an 8K race. You had a personal accomplishment this year that was something special. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I broke the school record in the 8K. It was 25:31. It was at NGIT for an invitational, and I remember going into that race because my freshman year I hit 26:05, and I was like, I'm that close to the school record. And my sophomore year I got injured, so that was a pretty rough race, and I knew I wanted to come back my junior year running great, and I just kept pushing the pace. And at the last mile I started kicking. I saw the clock with 100 meters to go, and I just started like fist pumping, because I was like, yes, I finally got it. I was so happy.
So you knew this was on your radar screen all along. And what does that mean to you now, knowing that you're at the top of the leaderboard, you hold an all-time school record?
It's awesome. I mean, I made it my goal coming in as a freshman. I didn't say it out loud, but I made it like a mental goal that I wanted to get there. And I'm not settling now. I want to see if I can get even better next year. So,
well, the team has had some success at the regionals this year. Tell us a little bit about how that went.
We had a rough conference, and everyone was down about it. We finished 5th, but then the following week we actually had 2 weeks, and then it was regionals, and we all just kept on working hard that whole week, just because we wanted to do better at regionals. And before the race, our coach even said, like, just go out there and have fun. We did, but at the same time, we actually did amazing, because we beat all the conference teams, which was like, man, why couldn't we have done that at conference? But it was still awesome figuring out that we actually beat all the conference teams, and I was just behind one conference kid individually, so it was awesome to figure that out too.
So as you move into your senior year now, does that raise the bar a little bit? Is there that challenge to get it done in the conference meet this year and then carry it into the NCAAs as well?
Yes, it is, just because, I mean, we want to bounce back after that 5th place running, just because last year we got 3rd and we thought we could get like 2nd or 1st, so we want to bounce back up to 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. And then going into regionals, I want to do even better there, especially team-wise and individually-wise, because I even was checking results from this year, and a lot of the guys that are up in front of me are leaving. So it gives me hope that I could actually get up in maybe the top 10, so that'd be awesome.
Well, we'd like to wish you the best of luck. We know the work ethic is there, the leadership is there on the team, and you're certainly a big part of that. We wish you and your team all the best.
Thank you very much.
Mike Galonsky of the St. Thomas Aquinas College men's cross country team. We thank you for joining us today. We'd also like to thank our other guests, the head coach of the men's and women's teams, Nicole Ballou, as well as Lady Spartans cross country runner, Keely Bateman, for joining us on today's edition of Spartan Sports Beat. Spartan Sports Beat is a production of the St. Thomas Aquinas College Department of Athletics and JHP Production. For the members of our crew, this is Steve Bolson thanking you for joining us today and saying so long until next time.